To be considered a serial killer, you gotta do two things. You gotta kill more than 3 people, and you gotta do it in a time period of over a month. These people on the list blow that out of the water.
Top 6
most dangerous people in the world. These are murderers who did all the killing themselves and are still alive today.
No. Listen, the most dangerous people in the world don't tend to kill others themselves. They hold influence far beyond simple acts of murder. So I'm going to stop you right there, steal your idea, and do it better. So here are the 10 most dangerous people in the world. Abu Musab al-Banawi is the leader of Boko Haram, an extremist group based in northern Nigeria. They are known for kidnapping children and killing over 20,000 people. But their intentions reveal how dangerous they could be. They want to carve out their own state in northern Nigeria, where Islamic extremism isn't exactly unheard of. Nigeria is basically 2 different countries, with the south being largely Christian. Boko Haram might eventually be able to exploit this enough to grab some territory. Nigeria is the economic powerhouse of Africa, so that kind of political crisis would be devastating. Number 9 is Carl Icahn, and it's important to remember his inclusion here doesn't necessarily make him a bad person. It just means his influence could in theory be used to destabilize society. So Carl Icahn is a massively well-respected investor, a legendary business magnate. Here's how influential he is. In 2015, he sent out one tweet, and that one single tweet caused Apple's market value to jump $8 billion. He tweeted an open letter claiming Apple's stock was undervalued, causing an investor's rush to buy stock in Apple. If one tweet can raise Apple's value by $8 billion, just imagine what kind of havoc he could cause. For number 8, Jared Kushner. He's married to Ivanka Trump and recently became a major player in Donald Trump's inner circle. We don't know much about his personal political views, what he ultimately wants, or what he's capable of. What we do know is that he has huge influence over the US government. If you're wondering what makes him so dangerous, he's been able to outmaneuver Steve Bannon to become Trump's most trusted advisor. Steve Bannon is an extremely capable strategist, so we can't ignore that. There's danger in the mystery. We don't know what he is. Is he simply an upper-class man-child? Or is he playing a long game? We just don't know. For number 7, Bashar al-Assad. The reason he's on the list isn't that he's a brutal dictator. It's not that he commands his own military. He's on the list because of his relationship with Iran and Russia. There are 2 big alliances that drive geopolitics. One is NATO, and the other is between Russia, Iran, and Syria. So if the West can encourage rebels to overthrow Bashar al-Assad, NATO's rival alliance loses a key player. So his very existence makes him one of the world's most dangerous people, because the stakes are so high for both his opponents and supporters. By the way, this is why the West opposes some dictators but not others. It's all about alliances. You can learn more about this kind of thing on my second channel. Dmitry Yudskov is a Russian billionaire who aims to become a god. He founded the 2045 Initiative, an organization working towards life extension. They aim to achieve immortality by the year 2045. They ultimately want to transfer human consciousness to non-biological carriers, so basically human minds in robot bodies. They really are working towards developing that kind of technology. Number 5 is Kim Jong-un, and it's pretty obvious why. He's a lunatic, a pudgy lunatic, and he controls a nuclear weapons program. Can he launch an attack on Europe or North America? I doubt it. But he could nuke South Korea. That would suck. South Korea has the 11th largest economy in the world, and it's one of the most rapidly growing. It's a huge importer and Asian financial center. So if Kim Jong-un just nukes them, which is the only thing he could do in a war, it would cause such a problem. Number 4 is Jinping. He's the leader of China, so I'm required by law to include him. There are so many potentially disastrous conflicts China could start, but here's one you may not be aware of. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Russia invaded and annexed huge swathes of Chinese land, much of which they still control today. China was simply too weak to resist or reclaim the territory. But as China is now becoming the world's most powerful nation, and as many within China want the land returned to them, and as Russia really doesn't give up land easily, we could potentially see a war between the 2 countries. People in the West don't talk about it much, but I think it's cause for concern. Number 3 is Hibatullah Akhundzada. That's a wonderful name, but it belongs to a terrible person. He's the current leader of the Taliban. It's obvious why this makes him dangerous. But how could I rank him so highly? Well, the Taliban have an evil plan. They want to destroy India, which is the world's biggest democracy and the only realistic long-term power rival to China. They want the Indian Republic to fall apart, and they believe this can be achieved by causing instability in some key regions. So they encourage attacks in places like Kashmir and the Punjab, hoping it will destroy India. I don't think it's going to work though. Number 2 is shared by Sergey Brin and Larry Page, the founders of Google. Owning the two most important search engines, one of which being YouTube, they have huge influence over the information people consume. They also have access to information others don't. To put it bluntly, they know your darkest secrets as you're dumb enough to Google them. Many believe artificial intelligence will destroy humanity, and it's easy to understand how. If there's one AI company to worry about, it's DeepMind, which is owned by Google. They're basically building Satan, computer Satan inside a box. Right now it's just playing board games, but one day it will consume your children. For number 1 we have PewDiePie, because he's literally Hitler. That's just a joke, please don't hate me. I'm already hated by Ukrainians everywhere. The most dangerous man alive is Nawaz Sharif. He's the Prime Minister of Pakistan, an incredibly unstable country which just so happens to possess a massive nuclear weapons arsenal. They maintain a nuclear weapons program in preparation for another war with India, which they've already had several. It's not obvious they wouldn't use nuclear weapons against India. In fact, many influential figures within Pakistan are pushing for a preemptive strike, so a nuclear apocalypse may not be far away. So that's the end of this video. If you want to support this channel, you can do so simply by leaving a like. And if you want more content from me, I have a second channel where I do different videos about different things.